One of our clients is launching their new app, Neurovant, and as they're managing the software and trying to take care of this growing platform, they don't have as much time or resources to pay attention to their online presence and social media marketing. That's where Chain Solutions was able to come in and create a Twitter system that scrapes the web for headlines and news about AI, drives it through a series of AI prompts, and finally outputs several tweets on Twitter, engaging with the headlines and encouraging audiences to download the app. If you're here, make sure that you check out Neurovant, which records lectures, and AI uses that information to create study resources such as flashcards, test materials, and notes. So here we are inside of our scenario. Our first module here is actually an application called Browse AI. This is a paid software, but it's a monthly fee, and I think it's like $19. But what this does is it scrapes the web, but it scrapes the red web with an AI bot that you train. So you teach it what you want it to scrape and how, and then you can trigger it to go off on its own. So this has a wide range of applications. I'm doing this for news, but you could make like a job application finder and you could go in and scrape various jobs from LinkedIn and put it all into a spreadsheet and then make a program with ChatGPT to apply to those. But that's besides the point. Here we have a pretty standard AI news site. And this page is supposed to be about AI. But as I'm looking at it, I see some things that are not about AI. Oh, okay. Wrong tab. Here is all the AI news. What I want this bot to do is go get the headline and get this little blurb right here, send it to ChatGPT and summarize it in a short article, then take it and post it to medium.com. So I've already trained this bot. I will link a video somewhere of teaching you how to train it. It's super simple. But here is its most recent recovery of data. And I had it record a list. You can have it scrape individual items, but I wanted a list because I'm getting 2 pieces of data for one topic. So there's that. There are 2 other options in Browse AI. You can make an API call and you can run a task. But this specific one is an instant trigger. So anytime that the bot finishes and the scenario is on, it'll automatically start. So this is not going to be one that operates on an interval. The output of that module is going to be an array, and I will make a video talking about make data structures, but an array is essentially, let's say like a phone book or a contact book. An array would be the book itself, and a collection would be each contact. Inside of that collection, there are various data pieces like your name, your number, your email. Those are data types. Those sit inside of the collection, which sits inside of the array. So an array is a collection, but a collection is not an array, not always. To access those individual data points for each topic or each thing in the array, we're going to have to separate it because I want ChatGPT to go through and get the title and excerpt for each one. And those are the data points that operate within the collection. So we need to open up we need to open up the array to get to the collection. Here you can see that we mapped the list. There's some other information that you can see here. We'll go through the outputs shortly, but all this is going to do is open up the collection or open up the array to the collection. From there, we'll be able to map individual points. So this is system background for the ChatGPT bot of sorts. Again, if you've been on my other videos, you've heard me talk about prompting. Prompting is super important because this generative AI is amazing technology, but it can only do as much as you tell it to do. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't have the human understanding to fill in the gaps. You really do need to lay out every single thing pretty specifically. So I gave this background information, essentially a job, You're my content marketing manager for my app. Here's all the information that you would need to know about my app that's relevant. Then I give it some background information on the assignment by providing examples of tweets that I like. These are other brand tweets. And when you give ChatGPT an example, it's extremely helpful so that it can mirror the same syntax, the same tone, things like that. So I have tweets from Applebee's, Old Spice, Duolingo, and I don't know where that's from. But after that, finally, this is the actual prompt itself. I provided the title and the excerpt. You can see these are green because these are mapped from the iterator, not from the browse AI. We would not be able to access these without the iterator. Some other instructions: keep the output under 280 characters. Sometimes you don't actually need to post about the news. Sometimes, like, actually just tweet about the company. And that's it. Then Twitter, I just straight tweet. There's nothing else to it. But let's run this and then we will go through the output. Also, while this scenario is off, okay. While the scenario is off, if any data is received, that data is stored in Makeland. I don't know. But if it's on, it'll go automatically. This one was not on because I wasn't using it. So we're going to use data that's already there. And in a second, we'll go look at the tweets. But let's see these outputs one by one. So you can see here, there's a lot of various information. You don't really need any of this. What's valuable is this list right here. And you can see if you open this up, this is the array, the TechCrunch News. That's the name of the list. That's the container of the list. And here you have each of these elements: title, excerpt, the date, the status, the position. We can't access these without the iterator. So you can also, with the bot, take pictures and capture some other things, videos as well, but that's not relevant in this scenario. From the iterator, the input is just the array, and the output are bundles. And each of these bundles is a collection, like we were talking about, one contact within a contact book. There are going to be 10 bundles here, one for each line of information, and each of those is going to contain the data items that we already discussed. From ChatGPT, the 10 tweets, and on Twitter, 10 tweets. So if we open up Twitter and go take a look, sometimes these can be a little cheesy, admittedly, but I still actually think they're pretty entertaining. Okay, look, so if you want to pause and read them, you can. But these are pretty funny. Like, these are not bad at all. These are extremely helpful. And Twitter is probably not going to be your main source of marketing, but it is extremely helpful to gain brand awareness and to make the brand feel a little bit more approachable and tangible. It kind of sets up this weird dynamic when you can't interact with or reach the brands that you really like. And Twitter provides an opportunity to interact with users in a very, very low stakes and casual way. Coming back to the scenario, I hope that you can understand there's a wide variety of use cases that you can have here. And the two most important things from this entire system that I would say make sure you understand are the data structures and the iterators. Arrays you're going to be working with all the time, especially if you get into the more complex data, and you will need tools like the aggregator and the iterator to access certain points of information. So once you understand how to map this data throughout your system and how to move pieces from here to there, it makes the process a lot more fluid. With that simple automation, we were able to save our client time and energy that they would have had to devote to finding these headlines and making sure to frame them in a way that's marketable online. If you or someone else you know is looking to drive leverage and add value to your business, make sure that you click the link below to see how Chain Solutions can help you revolutionize your workflow. We are currently accepting new clients, and I am more than happy to speak with you and analyze your business processes to see how we can speed them up. Make sure that you take a look at my other tutorials and keep an eye out on this channel for more content.